Hello and welcome to the first of our weekly conversations with Admirals head coach Karl Taylor. Karl and several of the players who would be in Milwaukee this season, obviously, are in Chicago with the Wolves. And Karl joins us. Karl, how's everything going for you?
That's very different, obviously, with the transition and also commuting and being with a different team. And you know what? It's going as good as it can, and we're doing our best to make it normal and to support the athletes from both organizations. We're not just coaching our players. We're trying to make this the best scenario we can, and it's been good learning
I
from
was going to
coaching
say,
staff and picking the brains.
yeah, I was going to say it is that, and that's probably the best thing you can take out of it, right? Not only for yourself, but for your players as well, that they're learning. I mean, we talk about it, learning from adversity. If there has been a more adverse season for a professional athlete or for anybody that they've lived through for a year, this is probably it.
You know, it's a different situation, and we're all aware of it. So we are marching forward. We have our first game tomorrow, and I'm here to oversee our prospects and to assist them and to help them, and to make sure that they're getting everything they need to assist and help out where I can. Obviously, the coaching staff here is in charge of the group. It's their team, and we're the visitors. So we're just trying to do our part and assist our players, make sure they're improving, and get through this next 3 months of a season.
There's roughly 10 players that would be in Milwaukee who are in Chicago at this point. And obviously that is fluid. They could go to the taxi squad. They could be called up to Nashville, whatever the situation might be. But let's talk about a few of them. Young players. Let's start with guys who were in Milwaukee last year, specifically Rem Pitlike and Tommy Novak. I want to start with Pitlike. He had 20 goals last year as a rookie, played some on wing, finished mostly at center. Where is he at right now in his growth?
Rem looks great. We challenged him to grow his game in a couple areas, and through the first couple of weeks of camp here, a couple of exhibition games, inter-squad games, he looks outstanding. He's stronger. He's playing more direct. He's doing everything that the coaches have asked him, and very excited to see him moving forward and doing what he's doing. I think he's right on pace to get everything he can out of his game that is possible. I love what he's doing right now. He just needs to do it more often and throughout the games as we move forward here.
Tommy Novak then had that wonderful season 2 last year, playing with Daniel Carr and Cole Schneider in Milwaukee. How has he been?
The Iceman, also known as Novechkin. He's doing very well. He's got lots of skill in his game. I believe he's a potential NHL player, just like Rem. Nobody's come a long way from an American League deal to an NHL contract. He's an elite player. He's shown himself very well in Nashville and also here. And so we anticipate him having a big push. And that's the thing here. Like you said, it's very different here. But the reality is make the most that you can while the season is ongoing. And are we going to play for a week, or is it going to be the full season of 30 games? Things change every day. And we're just trying to stay focused on what we're doing on the individual day and live in the present.
Well, it literally changes every day. We just found out that Chicago will now play 31 games because Cleveland, due to some COVID-19 protocols, won't be able to play against Rockford. So Chicago has said, "Hey, we'll play you." So I guess when we put our schedule in our calendar, that needs to be understood that can be moved around quite a bit.
Yeah, I think you're going to see games added and games moved around and dates changed. I'm not involved in that process.
Sure.
We came off the ice today, and hey, you're going to have another game on Saturday. So that's out of our hands, and we're just going to deal with that as a group. But there's no question that it is different. The schedules will be flexible with the COVID testing and all the things we are doing. We were on the ice. We're wearing masks everywhere. It's a very strict and tight run protocol here, and trying to do it the right way so that we'll get the games in and the players will get the most out of it that we can.
Does everybody work out together as you talk about masks and everything? I mean, I would think that they would, but I don't know. I haven't seen a practice this year.
Yeah, the groups are split up best we can, and we're trying to distance them in the locker rooms, all the different things. We're trying to follow everything we can, so that if there is something that occurs and we do have a positive case, that it's not infecting the large group. Now, we've seen the challenges that NHL has had recently.
Mhm.
It is a very difficult process. Everyone's trying to do the right thing, but let's be honest, you can go to the grocery store to buy food for your family and catch the virus. So even though we were doing all these things, it can still infiltrate and find its way into your group. The key is you try to manage that. And so we do have different workout times. The group is skating together as a full group, but we are trying to do everything we can to separate them and limit the exposure time to each other as much as possible.
I would imagine, obviously, there has been difficulties with that, but I'm just curious that everybody is such creatures of habit, especially pro athletes, to finally get into a situation where games are coming around. I got to imagine that morale is better than it has been in quite some time.
Yeah, like the guys are excited to play. Again, it is a challenging element that we have 10 spots and Carolina has 10 spots, and so there's guys that would be playing a big role for the Milwaukee Admirals if we were playing that may not play tomorrow, and so those are very challenging things. That's why like a Cole Snyder slides down to Texas, and other players are being reassigned to help out other teams just to get them playing. So there's lots of things going on internally that we're dealing with as a staff and trying to help out. Again, we're the visitors here.
Right.
Ryan and his coaches, and Bob and Pat, they're running the majority of the systems and running the team through the paces like they would. And for them, they're challenged with this as well. I'm here every day, and then Scott and Greg are here for skills days and game days. Our staff is involved. There's a lot of pieces for lots of people to deal with, but we're all trying to embrace it the best we can and get the most out of the experience. But the focus is really on the players. Currently, there isn't a playoff in plan. It's trying to get some games in, trying to help the players get somewhat of a season and not stunt their growth and development, so that we can continue the push to make them NHL players.
Yeah, and while the Admirals are opted out and two other teams opted out of the season, um, you hear the term thrown around every so often online that it was a lost season or whatever, but this is not that, and obviously everybody's trying not to, because there's a large group of prospects and not necessarily prospects, but athletes who need to play.
Yeah, it's a challenge, and the American Hockey League, the National Hockey League, the East Coast Hockey, everyone's trying to figure out the right way to do it and to be safe, and also push forward in a responsible manner. There's lots of people behind the scenes trying to make things work. We're fortunate to be able to come in and assist the players and help them build their careers, and that's kind of our role this year. We're not running the team. We are in a support role of the Nashville prospects and the guys that played in Milwaukee. That's our focus, and to help them get better, so that hopefully we're all planning on next fall being back in Milwaukee and having a great season and building on what we've tried to create there. We don't know how that's going to look or what's going to happen, but we're focusing on just trying to help these guys get better, so that when we do hit the road running next fall, that the guys are up and running.
I want to finish with one more player, a young man who would have been a rookie in Milwaukee this season. He put up great numbers in the ECHL with Florida earlier this year, Patrick Harper. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, I'm still getting to know Patrick. Same with Cole Smith and like young guys that we didn't have last year. So
Right.
first year pro guys. Patrick Harper is a very skilled, dynamic player. He's been that way everywhere. He proved that in the East Coast League. I think he was Player of the Month or Rookie of the Month or whatever award he won down there. So obviously, he made his mark early, and he's got a lot of skill. The higher the levels, it's going to be challenging for him to get inside and do the things he's got to do. He's a smaller player. We don't hold that against him in any way, but our expectations for all players are the same. You may not go in the corner and get the puck from a guy like Jared Sonorti would, but we still expect that player to come out with the puck. So he has to find a tactic or a skill or a way to do that so that he executes our team system and what we expect from our players in a manner that is supporting our team system. So Patrick's a really skilled young player. Getting to know him, he seems like a very good young man who's very into his career and trying to better himself. He's a guy that stays on the ice for a long time and trying to work on his talents, and he's been very coachable. So we'll see how it moves forward for everyone, and hopefully he gets the opportunity to show us what he can do.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing him in Milwaukee, and obviously people can watch the games on AHL TV when the Wolves get going tomorrow night. Karl, great to see you. All the best, safe travels, especially with what we're supposedly in for tonight. And we'll talk to you soon.
Today is a stay, so we're commuting daily, which can be a lot of driving. But I'm going to spend the night tonight just to plan for the game tomorrow and just be around a little longer. So.
Very good, Coach. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Aaron.
That's Admirals head coach Karl Taylor.